Okay, Shelby, this little activity where you're going to go, okay, so you see 200 here, put 200 down here because you're going to use 200 for both A and B. I want you to know the difference between simple and compound, okay? Totally different types of interest, okay? Now you're going to find the new balance on the account, okay? Now here's what our job is. We need to take $200 for simple, and we have to add the interest amounts. Now 4% in simple interest in 3 years. So in simple interest, simple, okay, I'm going to underline that. There's just, how many periods? It's every single year, okay? So there are 3 periods, period 1, period 2, and period 3. Okay, now period 1, we're going to find the interest we earn in period 1. All you do is take $200 times the percent, but remember to times the percent, we got to divide percent by 100, and that's 0.04. So I take 200 times 0.04, that's $8. Okay, so I'm going to put an 8 up there. That's how much interest I got in the first period. Now we have to add the second period interest. But here's the thing. I don't add these yet, okay? I don't add them yet. I go back to the 200, and I do the same exact thing. Times 0.04, find 4% of 200, and we know from the period before that's $8, so I add another 8. Okay, and then in period 3, every period the same thing happens. I take $200 times the percent, the rate, 0.04, okay? And we know that's 8, okay? So that's it. So I go up and add 8. And now, I would like you to actually do this a different way rather than just adding. I want you to take 200 plus 8. Now, how many times are you adding 8? You're adding it 3 times, so times 3, okay? So that's $224, and that's the answer. Now, this is going to be done differently. This is compound, okay? Compounds differently. Annually means once, one time per year, okay? So if it's one time a year, 3 years, that's 3 periods again, okay? Now, semi-annually, remember what that semi-annually means? Semi-annually is twice. So if that was a 2, I'd have to take 2 times 3, and I have to do 6 periods, but it's 1 times 3. Period 1, period 2, period 3. Now, compound's different than simple, okay? Much different. You take your 200, and you're going to start it off the same way. Your percent's 4, so you times 4 divided by 100, same idea, 0.04. And we know from up above that equals 8. So again, you put 200, and you start adding, because that's what interest does, it adds. Okay, so you're going to put $8. But you are not going to put 200 down like you did here, okay? To find the dollars you put down, you are going to add 200 to 8, okay? So that's 208. So you're going to put 208 down, okay? And you're going to use the same percent, but now the answer is going to be different, okay? So 208 times 0.04, and that's $8.32, okay? That's how much interest you've got. And by the way, I'm going to put interest here because that's what all these are. They're interest amounts. Okay? Interest. So anytime I get an interest amount, I need to add it up here. okay, plus the third period. But now I add these all up. So I have to add every time. $200 plus $8 from the first period plus $8.32 for the second. So I'm going to use $216.32, and we again multiply it by 0.04. Okay? So 216.32 times 0.04. $8.65 now. So here they're all the same. Here they're different because we have to add every time. Okay? So 8.65. So 200 plus 8 plus 8.32 plus 8.65. I get $224.97. So the amounts are different. I'm always going to get more on compound. If you're a little confused, that's fine. That's kind of normal. I'm going to do two more. You only have one of these to do on your own. Okay, $800. Then, by the way, this is simple interest. This is compound. So simple, 2 years. So there are two periods, period 1 and period 2. And we're going to also write the $800 down here. Okay, so again, we take $800 times, and again, we want to take 800 plus. So 800 times, we got to take the 1 divided by 100, okay? 0.01. That's my interest. So $8 interest. So we get to add 8. Now we add what the second period is, but I take the 800, the same exact thing. 800 times 0.01. The same thing happens on simple every year, and we know that that's $8 interest. Okay, so 8. So I take 800 plus 8, and since they're the same number, we can just multiply by 2, and that's $816. That's your new balance. Okay, now it's compound, so now it changes. So we go 800 plus, now again, 2 years, it's going to be 2 periods, because annually is just once a year. So if I have 2 years, that's 2 periods. Okay, period 1, period 2. Okay, so we do this differently. We go 800 times 1 divided by 100, 0.01, and then I times those, is 8, okay, so $8 interest. So I put $8, but when I add, I actually have to add them, okay? You actually have to add them. Don't write 800, okay? You have to add these, okay? You can't just keep writing 800 like you do on simple. You have to take 800 plus 8, okay? And then write it down. So we have $808 for the second period times the 0.01, okay? So this number changes, the principal changes on compound. So 808 times 0.01, and I get $8.08. So $8.08 of interest. So I come up here, 8.08. Add. So 800 plus 8 plus 8.08 is $816.08. So it's a little bit more than this, okay? And the more that time, the more periods there are, the greater difference there's going to be. Okay, now for the next one, $600. We have 5 years, so there's going to be 5 periods. So period 1, period 2, period 3, period 4, period 5. Okay, so we have 600, and there's also $600 down here too. Same amount, okay? All right, so our job is to find out our new balance. So we add interest, okay? So we have 600 times 2.5%. So I have to divide 2.5 by 100. And that's 0.025. So 600 times 0.025 is 15. Okay, so I'm going to add 15. Now, I don't add them on simple yet. Okay, I don't add them. Okay, I go back to the 600 and multiply, just repeat the process. It's just repeated. So $15 plus, same process, 600 times 0.025. That's 15, okay? It's the same amount every year on simple. 600 times 0.025, I know that that's 15. It's the same thing. And then the same thing, 600 times 0.025 is 15. Okay, so write that out. So it's the same amount. So we got 600 plus 15, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can multiply it by 5. And that takes me to a balance of $675. Okay, now compound. Period 1, period 2, period 3, period 4, and period 5. Okay. Okay, so again, we're going with $600, same as before, times 2.5 divided by 100. By the way, come over here, 600 plus 2.5 divided by 100 is 0.025. Is $15. Okay. So I add $15 of interest. Okay. Now, I don't write 600 like I did up here. I have to add these two. Okay. So 600 times plus, or sorry, 600 plus 15 is 615. So now I take 615 times 0.025. $15.38 of interest from that period. So plus 15.38. Now you add them. Okay, up here I wasn't adding, I was just using 600 every time. Here I have to add after each period. 600 plus 15 plus 15.38. That's $630.38. So 630.38 times, same percent. You can use the same percent. The percent doesn't change. Okay. So 630.38 times 0.025, $15.76 of interest. So now we go up and add this. Okay, now add these together before we figure out what the new principal is. Here the principal is always the same. Here the principal changes. We have to add from our list 600 plus 15 plus 15.38 plus 15.76. $646.14. Same percent, 0.025. Okay, whoops, sorry. 646.14 times 0.025, $16.15. Okay. Now we have to add our list before we find out the last one. So 600 plus 15 plus 15.38. Yeah, you have to add every time. Plus 15.76 plus 16.15. $662.29. Times, same thing, 0.025. $16.56. Okay, and that's the end of the period. So now we add these all together, but we can't use the times because it's not the same numbers. So 600 plus 15 plus 15.38 plus 15.76 plus 16.15 plus 16.56, and it's a little bit higher, $678.85. So compare this with this. I was adding higher amounts after I got done with the first period. Okay, next one. $300, and this one's going to be $300 too. They're going to be, I want them to be the same. Okay, simple. Okay, 3 years, so period 1, period 2, and period 3. So we got to take 300 and add all of our interest from the periods. Okay, so $300. So we divide our 2 by 100 first. So 300 multiplied by 0.02. And 300 multiplied by 0.02 is 6. So $6. Okay, so 6. Now don't add those. We go back. You do add on compound. You don't add them on simple. You go back to 300 and you repeat the same exact thing. So plus another 6. Don't add them. That's what you do on compound. Okay. All right, back to 300 times 0.02, and that's 6, okay? So add another 6, and since you're adding the same amount 3 different times, you take it times 3, and that's 318. And that's your balance now, by the way. That's your new balance. Okay, label new balance on your answers on the one problem you have to do. Okay, 2% compound annual interest in 3 years. Okay, so again, annual interest is just one time a year. 1 times 3 is 3, so that makes 3 periods. Period 1, period 2, period 3. We got to take 300 plus. So we start the same way, 300 times, I take my 2 divided by 100, that's 0.02. That's the same as it was above, 300 times 0.02 is 6, okay? So $6 interest, okay? By the way, I should have wrote that on here too, interest, interest. Okay, so plus 6. Now, I need to add those. 300 plus 6. I do add them when I do compounds, so 306. I add up my list. Times. Same percent, but I get a different answer because I'm doing 306 times 0.02. Okay, $6.12. Okay, so my next adding is 6.112. Now I add them up before I figure out what I'm going to write down. 300 plus 6 plus 6.112 is $312.12. Keep forgetting to write interest. Times 0.02. Okay, 312.12 times 0.02. Okay, $6.24. Always, whenever you get that, write interest next to it, okay? Because that means we go up here and add it. So we're adding 3 different amounts now on compounds. So we take 300 plus 6 plus 6.12 plus 6.24, and that's $318.36. And again, that's your new balance. Okay, so remember when you're working on this, on simple, we use the starting amount every time. On compound, we start with the amount, then we add 306, multiply, then add 624, and then you're good. So you need to add each time before you write your principal down.